whatever is happening to the year 2024, it's happening a lot. Whatever it is, it's happening in large quantities. Because we could just be chilling down on social media on the good street, hoping we don't find the bad news and all these death cases and all these things that we've been receiving as women and as people and as humans. Just over there, just chilling. And then you find the gospel artists. They're there.
Yes.
One after the other.
Zangu ni zako.
Like ta. Like a pandemic.
Atuko solo, tumekuja na kikosi.
And I'm like, what is happening? What is genuinely happening? And like, the millennials are back. And I'm like, okay, someone needs to study this. Someone needs to understand what gospel industry in Kenya is, from how it started to where it is, and then you can predict the future, because the future is not looking very cute. And I'm here for you guys. I'm here for you to bring education to your doorstep. So feel free to subscribe and let's get started. Okay, so let me take you back to 2000. The year is 2000, and at this time, not everyone has TV or like access to media or anything. We are just relying on word of mouth as people. Not everyone is writing, because imagine if someone just wrote something by this time. If like one of these ancestors or like the people, the traditionalists, just wrote their mind down, we could not be having all these problems, because we'd have something else apart from what we have that was brought by the missionaries. But here we are, so let's talk about it. So the year is 2000 and Christianity is popping in Kenya. That is, like all the cool kids are just getting saved. It's the cool kids club, and by that the gospel industry in Kenya belongs to the cool kids. The ones who are running were either pastors or pastors. Like no room for other people. You just have to be a pastor, you know. The music industry, the music gospel industry is run by pastors only, and they're just like, you have choirs and pastors. By exclusively, I mean exclusively. Like only cool kids were allowed to sing gospel. I'm not even kidding. Like you just had to look a certain way. The perception of the public has to be like, this one has been called by God. The way you look, the way you like operate, like there was a picture. I don't know if I'm painting an image of what they looked like. Sasa tutatongele what they are talking about. I'm going to while I'm dissecting like the evolution of this thing, I'm going to like there's the gospel. Okay, I'm going to like separate. There's the gospel, the music, and the business, and the person. So like while I'm saying 2000, there has to be a person. The person had to look a certain way. The person had to be a pastor so that they can be allowed to sing, or like a really talented person so that they can hide behind a pastor in a choir, so that the name of the choir is identified by the name of the pastor. But like in real sense, there's a character behind it, the talented person that is running the whole thing. The 2000, I don't know what these people were going through because it was dark. Like the whole messages in this gospel music were very heavy. They were really going through a lot. Like there was a suffering outbreak. Like everyone was suffering. And I'm not even joking. Like not even in this country, all other countries, everyone was suffering at this. Like if you're not suffering, you're not like holy enough. You should be suffering so that you can appear humble, I think. Because you see, like I think maybe it was like a lot, you know. There's another theme of people not wanting to be alive. Like people are like, take me away, things like carry me, we go to heaven. Because I think at that time message had transpired that Jesus was coming soon. So everyone was like, Jesus, take me, I am the one, I've been suffering, just take me to your place, you know. And then there was, like I said, Jesus is coming soon. Like saying like, around the corner, Jesus coming, around the corner, Jesus coming. Jesus coming, around the corner, Jesus coming. This whole agenda they had going on had alienated the youths. The youths didn't feel represented by whatever they were saying because not everyone wants to die. When they came in, nimependwa na fundi wa mbao jewe. So the youth came in the mid 2000s. The youth were youthing. Okay, the coming of the youth meant that you're getting rid of looking a certain way in order for you to be a gospel music artist, because obviously the youth were looking very youthful and they were like putting on clothes that youths were putting on. They're not dressed in rags and wrapped in like plastic bags to hide their whatever they're supposed to hide. They were just looking as youths are supposed to look. And they like troop of the songs, like the songs were like these are the type of songs that were there in the mid early 2000s. And they were bangers, banger.
System ya Kapungala. Papa Fololo, the king of Kapungala. Stop
Banger after banger after banger. Ooh, banger. And by the way, even the non-Kenyans were in on it. Like Ros Muhando was suffering. By the way, Ros Muhando did not want to be alive. Ros Muhando.
Yes, pastor. Preacher.
Fast forward to the too late 2000s. We have the intro. Okay, why do I feel like talking with this thing? It's not a mic. My mic is here. And you have the introduction of culture. And that is in the late 2000s. That is 2009, 2008 over there. I'm not even saying like introduction of culture. Like obviously culture was there, but like it became the new thing that was added to the stereotype. This is not even me cut to woman. This is woman to world industry, because obviously gospel music industry didn't fit the you are like culture. You and your culture are supposed to like stay there with the traditionalists. This one is for the cool kids, and the cool kids until the cool kids accept you and your culture. Because don't get me started on another rabbit hole with this one. Anyway, moving on. Okay, now that we're in the late 2K and the rough tones and the fundi wambaos have been received very well, now the youth decided to get into the scene. The youth got into the scene. So now that they like already deleted the look a certain way stereotype that went, and also like these people are crying every day. Like every song for them was a cry for help. Like babes, at what point are you just going to be like grateful or like have another emotion apart from like feeling like you want to die or like cry? So that's when the youths decided to change the message.
Natuma please call me na confidence iko nini God amenipa airtime
And maybe just maybe the girl burst too hard. Like they shot too close to the sun until the message left the shot. Like at some point they started just singing for the sake of it. You know, like they started with really nice songs like you know, like telling their like normal stories, like something relatable. Like Jimmy Gate, tiga nega iningepata na muadhara. That could happen to anyone. Giuliani, Eko Dida, like this individual.
Thinking you nipe any trap I will sing in you.
The females were the like arguably the only people holding the message stereotype inside the gospel music industry, because like the men whatever they were singing. Let me just give you an example. Jimmy Gate started really nicely, and then we have another person, ringtone, natumia talanta yangu ambaye Mungu amenipa ili nimwimbie Mola, something very nice, very sweet kid. And
Pamela njoo kwa Mungu.
Until it decided, you know, I'm not here to please you guys. I'm not even here to please anyone. Just here to like, you know, vibes. And then we have movie like Kwata Kawaya, blah 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 blah. I don't know who was relating to that. Obviously, I can't understand those language barrier and everything. But that guy was doing too much, like way too much. I don't think like Embarambamba of the movie was like the Embarambamba of the early 2010s. We are 2010s. Yes, we are the 2010s. Embarambamba of the 2010s movie. And it's like, what are you even saying? Because this is supposed to be something like, you know, like something that has message, like maybe like a word from God, or like gratitude, just something like that you appreciate. Maybe appreciate something, appreciate nature, appreciate the people, or like maybe you're quoting a Bible verse and like just running with it, like just something. Where was it? I searched, I looked and I found nothing. Anyway, now that we've eliminated the whole message in a song, or like in music, we have introduction of new things, swag, like people had like personalities, you know, like you can identify an outfit of like a style with someone. They were just not dressed in a uniform like how they were back in the days. So like people had personalities. And then introduction of new themes like rap, sharing in music,
From nothing to something, the state, Nico.
like upbeat songs, like singing in your language, like sharing hip hop, like gospel didn't just fit, like wasn't put in a box like the gospel industry, like the gospel, like a gospel song wasn't put in a box. Also, I feel like to some degree they were just acting rebellious. They were running away from the stereotypes. They're like crying all the time and like like wanting to die and wanting to like go like when lango likifunguka likupate kwa hapo hivyo nje ya mlango. They are running away from the stereotype, and in doing that they did the absolute most.
Chisa nika umepigwa radi.
So this will look good. 2008 to 2012. The chattering, the birth of Chris Baba. Like he was Baba and then transformed to Baba in like 0.25. And then the birth of Willie Paul.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
From 2008 to 2012, the Gen X were very pissed. Like they were very mad with the youths of that time. They're like, the youths don't even make gospel industry. They just want to dance. The youths don't even have something to say. They're ruining the gospel industry because they didn't fit the criteria that they had set for them. And it's like the youths are rebellious. They don't want to do this. They don't, like they're acting out like they're not fitting the stereotype. But the coming of Willie Paul meant that we have someone that is a youth that had a beat that could accommodate the Gen X. He had message in his song, like a message of like, oh, I am suffering, like something that the Gen X loved, like they revel, like they lived for someone who was suffering. Like suffering is something that everyone is happy, like everyone goes through, but like there's a way they had romanticized it so much, like it's the only way you can be, like if you like like the only way they can associate you with things that are very godly and like relatable, like humility. What else? A poor man that will go to heaven and a rich man that cannot fit a camel horse. Like you get the vibe. Yeah, things like that. So he fit the stereotype, like the Gen X, and he also could accommodate the youths because they vibed with the beat, and like I said, the Gen X are happy, the millennials are happy. You look like you're suffering, but you also have a beat. You have a dancing style that is a movement that is going to shake the whole decade. You have not a decade, maybe like 2 years, 1 year there. And then we have he did the collab with Gloria Muliro, which was a Gen X. So like merging of both worlds, and it was like ta-da! We have something that tells you that gospel music industry is here to stay. So that was that. And so like the being like, obviously after that the sequels after Sitolia like affirms that, because like there are songs like Kujitia Kitanzi, like Najitia Kitanzi, Usijitia Kitanzi, nimechoka sana, like like the millennials are just dancing and like vibing to the beat. The Gen X are happy because they have something they are relating to, like someone is suffering, so like like something that is thumbs up for them. And then we have Lala Salama, affirmation. Like someone is suffering, the Gen X are happy, the millennials are happy because the vibes are there. Message is back. So from 2012, the era after that is like after Willie and before Willie. So AW, BW. Before Willie, we have like all those like gospel music industries are there on standby. Just wait for what will happen after that to this one. After Willie, it just had like a year or two, to take it off, and then we had someone beat him at his own game, and it's called Mtoto wa Mama.
bahati tena.
Mtoto wa Mama. Mtoto wa Mama. Mtoto wa Mama. Bahati was not here to joke. Bahati was not here to make friends. Bahati was like not here for games. Bahati was here to take off. Because it's someone that came to outplay the player. Just beat him at his own game. Because that's why like the career started off like a beef, because they had the same story, literally, like the same origin story, the same type of genre, the same type of approach to the genre, the same type of. Okay, so let me just tell you how like Bahati succeeded in beating Willie Paul at his own game, because Willie Paul had like enough of singing sad stories by then, and the Gen X wanted more, like tell us more. The Gen X wanted more, like tell us more. How much are you suffering? Like give us more. Like feed our what? Maybe what's that? Okay, someone needs to. Okay, someone is me. If you're going to be half of that, like that is me. I love doing things like that. So I'll do that. I'll study what was like. Why are they so? Why do they crave pain like that? Like what is it about always crying? Do they like because even if you look at like deeper approach to the like he was more vulnerable, more willing to open up, more willing to like share his story like very very deeply. Like you could connect him with him, even in one song you could feel connected with him, while Willie Paul was just crying like like that is something relatable to the next, but you don't give us a story, like you're tell us why you want to tear yourself kitanzi, so that we can maybe no. Bahati had a more lasting effect on people because he was more willing to open up, and at that time, even up to now, imagine like let me just note, because like the men of the country decided to call that like being too emotional, like someone who likes to cry, mtoto wa mama, like painted like mtoto wa mama as if it's a bad thing, like a vulnerable man, like a man that shows emotions. That so Bahati decided to try out other genres, like singing about love, which was not very far, like very out of the bearing, far. It's still within, because like you're talking about love, and love is within the religion, but it was just one bearing that was like a new trajectory for him, and it was just one step, and then one step until he like decided to like whoop, left. But that was not the case until maybe like later on in the years. But up to that point, he started singing, like interacting with other artists, trying out new things. But he had given us enough to like hold on to in this gospel industry. Like had the same agenda, like wisdom, like the people he was mentoring, the wisdom, the Mr. Seed. He was not mentoring Mr. Seed; they were friends. But like, yeah, like there's a lot of people like around that time that was coming with the same approach of like being emotional but not being too emotional, as opposed to like being not being emotional at all, like you're getting. So from 2013 to 2016, there was a lot, like people are trying to put emotions, like trying to be like more vulnerable with their rating, but keeping up with the upbeat, sticking to the like vibes, like dressing however, like being in your own authentic way, not fitting any stereotype. So the trend was trending until it wasn't, and now you have the birth of noisemakers. The people who just don't even have anything to say, they're just here to be like associated with the like genre, but not even trying to do anything about the like, kolo bazokizo odi. This is the era where we lost the plot. The plot was lost. It was not there anymore. The people lost the plot. Like I tell you, so we started with like message out, looking a certain way out, crying every time out, telling everyone that Jesus is coming very soon out, people who don't want to be alive anymore out. So we have the one and only nothingness. They just like, as in, obviously when I like pick a song, maybe just say amen and call it gospel, and you run with it. So like you have gospel, or like just say anything, banana, amen, blah blah, shampoo, conditioner, foundation, amen, blush, amen, like, and then call it a gospel music. That is what was happening in this time.
Huu mwaka kauna kata kumark time, sema amen.
And a lot of people started walking away from this whole thing that you have going on over here, because obviously it's not working for you, and it's not gonna work for me, because they, after all of these things go, the only thing that remains is the business. We don't have the gospel, we don't have the music, we don't have the message, we don't have the character anymore. We have the business, which I'm not at all against at all. Like, make your bag. Obviously, this is your talent, this is what you're doing with it. You are supposed to make your bag, okay? But when you mix those things up so much and you lose the plot, that's why you like, what are we doing at this point? And I won't lie, they like, obviously the songs that lost the plot, they were trendy, they were bangers, and they were like songs of the decade. They got awards for being such huge bangers at that point. But like, that's it for them. They're not rememberable, not here for like to tell generations about them. They're very short-lived, honestly. So notice how I haven't talked about any women, like so far, like from 2013 to 2016. I haven't talked about any women. That's because the women single-handedly were still like being authentic with their message. The women, Masi Masika made a comeback in the 2015. Na siwezi jizuia. It like was a song of the year, I think, of even 2 years. It was a song that's like single-handedly held the music industry, like the gospel music industry, because like in every church you go to, like that is the first song. Wedding there, prayer days there, because it's like it's almost like there was no other song to play. They're like judging too harshly the other artists, like not this one, I can't play this one. I can't play this one. Playing the ones that only fit the stereotypes. And you know what? The people are seeing. The singers are seeing what is happening. You are picking us and judging us, picking and choosing which one to play and which one not to play based on what you deem is a true Christian, like a true like messenger of God. Anyway, that was that. But like it affected their bag obviously because you're supposed to play the music and you're not playing the music and there's nothing they can do about it because you're not being a fan and they can't force you to be a fan. But you need to be a fan because there's no other place to play this type of music apart from churches and like arusis and all these other places that's supposed to play the music. So the people got angry and moved to secular music. So like but that's a topic for another day. But now fast forward to where we are 2024. Okay, so far from there up to this point, I don't know what happened. Like I've not been following very closely, but like they haven't been brought to your Instagram FYP like everywhere until 2024 January, and then everyone all of a sudden is making music and they're like, okay, let me just play one of these songs and listen to what they're saying.
Nani wa kulinganisha nawe? Who has the final?
And it's like going back to the era where there was like being yourself, have nothing to say, have just say nothing, just say something and then you say amen and then it will become a gospel music, and then the people will run with it because they think you said amen. Because do you remember the time when they like cause do you know what this reminds me? Because imagine there was a time where I don't know, there are like three music. Oh, Nyashinsky made a banger. Like in 2016, Nyashinsky made a song, Naogopa Mungu Peke, and that was like there's a song with emotions, with message, with talent, with personality, with someone that like looks a certain way. Like you can associate this man with Nyashinsky because he is Nyashinsky, someone that does not try to fit a stereotype. And he had a song that was like moved everyone, like even those who are in denials. Okay, let me just play the song for the uncultured swines that we have around here. Imagine, banger. So imagine after that, do you know this song was not allowed to play in churches because it wasn't like sung by a gospel person, like, but it was played everywhere because he is Nyashinsky and he was. That's aside. Imagine, even after that, Nini, Sauti Soul, run it. That song by Sauti Soul, they're not even playing it it is sung by a secular artist. So that's why they're not singing it. And it's a song with emotion, with message, with personality, with something you can relate to, with no beat, but it's still a song that you could call a gospel song. But they won't accept it because it's not sung out by someone who can tell what to do and like do this, do that, so they can fit the stereotype. Go on your Instagram right now, see that the millennials are back. They're back with their particular news, and it's happening. I don't know where we're going with this one, but let's just see how long it lasts. Because you know what, they go up to like maybe a day or two, a month, maybe 6 months if it's that long, but mostly they're so forgettable. But let's just see how long this takes, because it's the same type but it's sung by people who are like born again, like publicly known as born again Christians. So let's just see how it will be received by the gospel consumers. Anyway, I don't know. Okay, in conclusion, there has been evolution in this industry. However, with the way things are going right now, there's no telling how it will end. It will end in Nini Muhadara. A gospel artist comes with a song that is just madoshi, pure madoshi, serve it to you like this, tell you to eat it, and you're like, yes, yeah, like I trust you, you've given me this thing that is madoshi, I'm going to consume it. And it's like, this, what is happening over there? Because something is going on. Me and my 2 subscribers, adios muchachos, babes. I love you and thank you for showing up for me, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Mwah. Look at your actions. Say sorry. Say sorry, babe.
My friend, I would give you a standing ovation if only I was deaf. But your music is pathetic. So how long again have you been singing?
I've been singing for 14 years, sir.
Get out! 14 years? No, for real. Get out. Next.